First of all, I want to thank Hartford and Zone and the job that everybody does putting in. There's a lot of work that goes into putting on a conference tournament, and they do a fantastic job. And you know, with less resources and less people, you know, and it's hard to pull that off. And you've really done a special job, and I'm very impressed with that. I'm very happy to be here. And I'm very happy for Maine fans to see us get out of the playing game for the first time, I think, since 2006. I know that's been something that's really been on their minds. Obviously, I haven't lived that history with them, but I appreciate how much they care about it, so I'm very happy for them. It's a tough game. Stony Brook's very feisty and well coached. They had some great strategies, and it really just came down that we made a couple buckets at the end. We got very fortunate on one play where we got a couple of offensive rebounds where they had us trapped, and you know, Sam ended up putting the ball back and getting an and one out of it. And we were just very, very fortunate to have that play happen like it did. But very happy for our team. It was a significant win for us because we were able to double last year's win total, and that was important for us. I think that was one of the things that we can use moving forward is talk about the progress that we've made this year. And so, other than that, very happy.
Questions for the student athletes?
I was going to say, could each of you girls just kind of talk about what it's like to get a win here? This has not been a building that has been real friendly to you.
It's exciting, like Coach Barron said, the first time in 4 or 5 years we've made it out of the playing game, so that feels like an accomplishment in itself. And we're excited for tomorrow now. No more celebrating this, but it felt good.
Brittany?
Like Sam B said, you know, it's very exciting. It's like a weight lifted off our shoulders. You know, we've been in this situation for a long time, and we finally can get out of the playing game and move on to BU, which is going to be a tough game, but we have to be smart and play better than we just did.
Sam, talk about kind of your mentality in the second half after the early foul trouble obviously caused you to miss most of the first half, and remaining aggressive late in the game. I know you had a big block on the defensive end at one time too. You know, was it hard to get back into the flow of things there?
It wasn't too hard. Just tried to tell myself to calm down and play a little bit smarter for the most part, but just stayed focused, so it wasn't too hard to get back out there.
Any other questions for student athletes? Peter, once more.
Maybe for Brittany, they obviously came out in the second half and were knocking down shots all over the place. I'm assuming that was a function of their executing their offense. Did you guys make any specific adjustments, or was it just kind of having to ratchet up the intensity a little bit?
Well, we wanted to know where the shooters were, and if there's an on-ball screen, we wanted to switch off that so they won't get an open shot. But we did a pretty good job in our 22 defense by going out onto the wing and trapping and trying to get to the top to get a steal. And we also did a good job by getting the defensive rebounds. So I think about this.
One more thing, maybe for Sam. What you guys do defensively late in the game? Obviously, you went zone 2 or 3, 4. I don't know how many possessions there for a while. Were there a couple things you did that you think helped you? You held them scoreless for like almost the last 4 minutes.
Well, we went into our zone to try to get a steal and get some momentum going, and I think that helped because we were successful at it. We had a couple good plays out of that, and just in our man-to-man, I don't know, rotated better.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Thanks, guys. Questions for Coach Barron?
Coach, maybe back to the point, Stony Brook started that second half with a lot of confidence and shot the ball extremely well. What did you guys lack in some area there that you were able to take care of later in the half?
Well, I thought that Stony Brook did a very good job of making us pay for our mistakes early in the second half, and really throughout most of the second half. We had a couple of times where they were setting some staggered screens, and we kind of got lost a little bit
we hit the screen. Whitney Davis started off the second half with a big shot coming off that Becca Knight, kind of hit the screen and kind of stood there, and she made us pay. I thought, let's see, who was it? Danny Kloppenberg, am I saying that right? She had a big three looping around. They had a staggered screen for her, and we were chasing it, and she got a little bit of separation. But we were running after her. She didn't have a whole lot of time, and she really didn't get a chance to set her feet. And she knocked that three down. That was a big shot. Where we just kind of got caught in a switch. And same thing happened then with Beck and Ashley late in the game on a baseline screen where I think we'd come back and maybe taken the lead, and then they tied it back, or maybe took a 1-point lead on that basket along the baseline. I can't remember who hit that. It might have been Sam Landers on that one. So they did a really good job of taking advantage of the defensive mistakes or even just hiccups that we had. We didn't have time to recover because they knocked down the shots. And then I thought also in the second half they did a very good job of finding their post. Really impressed the last couple of games with Jessica Prevalon. She did a nice job for them. Athletic and moves well, finishes around the basket, got some nice rebounds, really attacked the glass very well. I thought for us, one thing that we did much better in the second half was the story of rebounding. I was very disappointed in our effort rebounding the first half. And they had 7 offensive boards, and we had 3. And I thought that Tamil Murray had a very good effort on the board. She had 3, and I was really hard on our guards about that at halftime. She ended up with 3, so we did a good job of keeping her off the offensive glass. And we had only had 3 offensive rebounds and hadn't converted them. We ended up with 6 points off of second chance points, had 8 offensive rebounds in the second half. So I thought the rebounding was in our favor in the second half. I thought they did a good job of taking advantage of the mistakes that we made or the hesitations that we had to knock down shots.
Maybe just one last thing. The turnovers kind of reared their head a little bit in the second half, but taking those away, it seemed as though in both halves you executed the offense, I thought, very well. A lot of people touched the ball, but the people who needed to get the ball got the ball and got some good looks.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need to do a better job of attacking the rim. We get to the free throw line a lot from our post play and off the offensive rebounds. But we need to do a better job of creating opportunities just driving to the basket. And as much attention as they were giving to our post, that we were in a position where we could drive to the basket several times, especially off the screen and roll. And that was where a lot of our turnovers happened. We took one dribble, pulled it up, and tried to throw a hook pass to the post rolling, and everybody got in the act on those turnovers. I mean, it was, I think Brittany had one, Ashley had one, Becca had one, Courtney had one, when at no point had anybody stopped their progress towards the basket. So we've got to learn how to attack the basket better, maybe get to the free throw line. That's where some of those turnovers happen. But it's hard for me to be disappointed with 13 turnovers after this year where we've averaged more. I think that the credit goes to Stony Brook for only turning the ball over 3 times. And although we're not a high-pressure defensive team, I certainly don't think that we had a lackadaisical effort on the defensive end. For them to only have 3 turnovers is pretty good job by them, and certainly impressed with that.